Hello, everyone. I am Samantha Joy, and I am here to share with you my weekly check in for week number 3 of the book The Artist's Way, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity by Julia Cameron. So, just a friendly reminder that I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm new to this whole vlogging thing, like telling random strangers on the internet who may or may not be listening or even care about my personal life. This is new to me. So I'm just kind of making this up as I go. I kind of have an idea on what I want to say before I hit the record button, but I don't really know what I'm going to say until I hit the record button, just so you know. So we're in this together right now. We're just buckle up for the ride is what I'm trying to say. So week 3, recovering a sense of power is what I've been working on all week until today, okay? So for week 3, it says, this week may find you dealing with unaccustomed bursts of energy and sharp peaks of anger, joy, and grief. You are coming into your power as the illusory hold of your previously accepted limits is shaken. You will be asked to consciously experiment with spiritual open-mindedness. Now, I'm just going to read the things that stood out to me while I was reading this chapter this week. I have some things highlighted. So I will read my highlighted bits, and then I'll go back and I'll tell you my interpretation and takeaways from this chapter and how I feel after this week. So first part was about anger. Anger is fuel. Anger is meant to be listened to. Anger is meant to be respected. Anger is a map leading you the way. In the recovery of a blocked artist, anger is a sign of health. Anger is the firestorm that signals the death of our old life. Anger is not the action itself, it is action's invitation. So let's talk a bit about anger, the first thing in this chapter. It also talks about synchronicity and shame and criticism. So those were the main points from chapter 3. So about anger, I kind of like the idea that anger is not something we should be angry at. Kind of like that Pixar movie, Inside Out, like all the different emotions existing for a reason. Anger is valid. Anger should be listened to, and anger should be used as a guide to help you understand what it is you're feeling and why you might be feeling that, so you can take action to resolve whatever issues you have within yourself you have been stuffing down and ignoring, like we're taught to do growing up. Like, don't make a scene, don't wear your heart on your sleeve, like, don't let people know what you're thinking or feeling, like, keep things to yourself. That's what we're told a lot. So if we get angry at something, like if I go see a play and the main actor is not that great of an actor, in my opinion, and I'm thinking, why is this chum on stage and not me? And then I get angry. I should listen to that anger because it's telling me, you're an actress, Samantha, go audition more and be on that stage someday. Anyway, so something about anger I took away from. Synchronicity, watch out for what you pray for, you just might get it. We hear that a lot. Something that comes to mind in particular right now after reading such a sentence is the musical Into the Woods. Everyone in the entire show is wishing for something, and by the end of Act 1, everyone gets what they wished for. And Act 2 is all about why you got to be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Julia Cameron says possibility is far more frightening than impossibility, that freedom is far more terrifying than any prison. Life is what we make of it. We all have our Africas, those dark and romantic notions that call to our deepest selves. Synchronicity is loosely defined as a fortuitous intermeshing of events. Never ask whether you can do something, say instead that you are going to do it. Understand that the what must come before the how. First, choose what you would do. The how usually falls into place of itself. The universe is prodigal in its support. We are miserly in what we accept. We may say we are scared by failure, but what frightens us more is the possibility of success. A quote in this book off to the side in the margins that stood out to me. Where is it? Erica Jong says, "Take your life in your own hands, and what happens? A terrible thing. No one to blame." And that stood out to me because we don't like believing that it's our own fault that something we don't like is happening, right? We want to be able to point the finger of blame at something or someone else. We hate accepting responsibility for our own actions, or in this case, inactions, right? For example, me doing a lot of tech work instead of actually auditioning, me keeping myself from becoming the famous actress I've always wanted to be, self-sabotaging myself, making excuses, always having reasons. I don't have enough time, I don't have the money, I don't have the energy, I can't do it because blank. Fill in the blank, right? What was I afraid of? Was I afraid to fail? Was I afraid of succeeding? Why would someone be afraid to succeed? This sounds kind of weird, but also true, because we do it all the time, whether it's conscious or subconscious. Things happen. We're always afraid of getting what we wish for, because what if what we wish for isn't exactly what we thought it would be like, and we don't like it once we get it? And then we don't have anything we're wishing for anymore because we got what we wished for. Wouldn't we rather just believe and keep wishing and dreaming that what we don't have is better than what we have? Because, I don't know, dreams kind of give us a reason for getting up in the morning, maybe. I'm on a tangent now. I don't know. Whatever you're taking away from this, great. Share with me something that you're wishing or dreaming or hoping for. But I think the main point is stop wishing and dreaming and get off your butt, light a fire under it, and do something to work your way up to getting what you wish for. I think Julia Cameron is trying to tell us that it's okay to try to get what you wish for. To not be afraid of trying to get what you wish for or pray for or dream for or hope for, or whatever word you want to use. If you want something, you can get it with enough persistence and hard work and dedication. Just don't give up, keep trying, and eventually you're going to get it if you really want it. But what you got to ask yourself is, do you really want it? That was my takeaway from that. Another big section in this book, she's talking about synchronicity. Synchronicity. Words. Let's try that again. Julia Cameron talks in chapter 3 about synchronicity. I was thinking about if you're walking and you're thinking, oh, I want a new place to live, right? And then suddenly you see for rent and for sale signs everywhere. And you're like, whoa, this must be a literal sign from the universe or some higher power telling me that moving is the right next choice for me in my life. That this is something I should be doing. I'm meant to be doing this right now because of all these signs. Right? Is it a sign? Is it the universe or a higher power telling you something? Or are you just noticing stuff that has always been there that you haven't been paying attention to before? Either way, however you want to look at it, the point is, the main takeaway I'm getting from synchronicity and how it works is, if there's something you desire in your life and you put it out there into the universe, now that the universe knows what you want, it's going to help you get it. Because if you keep it a secret, what you want, then you can't get it. Because nothing and nobody else knows that you want it, so they can't help you. Right? It's like, hey, I need a job, to a friend. And friend is like, okay, what kind of job do you want? You're like, I don't know. Versus, I want a sales job, selling desks. So then the next time they see someone is hiring for a sales representative to sell desks, they'll think of you, and you can get that job that you've always wanted, so to speak. Does that make sense? So put out into the universe what you want, knock on the door of opportunity, and eventually somebody will open the door and let you in, sort of deal. That was my takeaway from that. It also talks about shame being a controlling device, Don't let people shame you. We will discover the nature of our particular genius when we stop trying to conform to our own or to other people's models. Learn to be ourselves and allow our natural channel to open, says Shaki Gawain. It's a famous quote. As artists, we must learn to create our own safe environments. The antidote for shame is self-love and self-praise. Just show up. Creativity is the only cure for criticism. Growth is an erratic forward movement. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Remember that and be very gentle with yourself. A creative recovery is a healing process. As a creative being, you will be more productive when coaxed than when bullied. And the last thing I have highlighted in this chapter is there's a big difference between being helped and being treated as though we are helpless. So here's what's up, y'all. You just got to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with the kind of people and places and situations that you want to be surrounded by. The kind of things that will inspire you and help guide you to be your best self, to go after your dreams and fulfill them. And that was my biggest takeaway from chapter 3. Yes, so my artist date this week, I went to see an improv show at a place where I used to take improv classes back when I first moved to the city. And I actually used to work there too. I did the lights and sounds for sketch and improv shows. And I worked in the box office once a week to help pay for classes in improv. And I performed there with my class at the very last graduation shows. So anyway, during the pandemic, they closed down, and now they're back, and they have new ownership and everything. I never actually officially got fired or anything. I just stopped hearing from them. So I guess maybe technically I'm still employed by them. I don't know. I was working, and then I didn't hear anything, and then they were closed down, so who knows. But they reopened back in November. So I decided it would be a fun artist date for me to go and see a show. I expected some flashbacks to happen and for me to feel some feels because it's been so long since I've been in that physical space. But y'all, I had a lot more flashbacks than I thought I would. It was weird. It was hard. Maybe I shouldn't have been my first time back at this place. That would have caused such an emotional reaction in me. Maybe I shouldn't have gone by myself. But I did. I decided that would be a great artist date and it would be fun. So I saw an improv show and I saw a lot of ghosts everywhere I looked. In the box office, in the lobby, out in the courtyard, on the stage. When I was just visiting before I even officially moved to the city, the theater where I went to see a show this week for my artist date, that's the stage I did my first ever stand-up open mic. A lot of memories in this place for me. I had some good times. So I went. It was great. I saw a show. I laughed. I had a good time. I got some fries. So that was my artist date this week. I don't know yet what I'm going to do next week. I'll figure it out as I read chapter 4. So tune in next week as we discuss what it means to be recovering a sense of integrity. Okay? All right, I guess that's it for now. Thanks for joining me in my weekly check-in for recovering a sense of power in the artist's way. I'm kind of rambling right now. I feel like I've said what I've had to say. It's time to turn off the camera, but I'm still rambling for some reason. Like there's something else I wanted to say and I can't remember. I don't know. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here with me. I don't know. I'm a fan of not editing, so this is not going to be edited out when I post to YouTube. And there's a reason for that. I believe in you seeing me as a person and all of my struggles and awesomeness. There's no such thing as perfect, in my personal opinion. What was the other thing I wanted to mention? Y'all, there was something I felt was important I needed to say. Yes, I remember. Okay, see, I'm glad I didn't turn off the camera. So what I wanted to say was how this video, I originally said at around 11:30 a.m. every Tuesday, I will post a video. It's after 11:30 a.m. On this Tuesday that you will see this video be posted. And is that okay? Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay? I'm not perfect. I'm not on a time clock. I don't do what they call time blocking in a bullet journal or anything like that. I don't have every single minute of every single day accounted for. I have things I want to accomplish each day, and I try to accomplish them at some point throughout the day. It's not an exact science, but anyway, so this isn't perfect. It's not 11:30 on the dot every single Tuesday. I'm going to upload a video, but that's not keeping me from doing it. I want to make this important distinction between striving to be perfect and just doing the thing. Okay, so that's something that this book so far has been inspiring me to do, is to make time for things that are important to you. I'm making sure I do this before I leave for the store to work the rest of the day. The exact time isn't as important as the fact that I am doing this and I am uploading it, because that's what I agreed upon with myself. I don't want to break that contract with myself. So hopefully this has inspired you in some way. If you're playing along, comment below and tell me how this week went for you. And I'll see y'all next Tuesday around 11:30 a.m. ish. Thanks for watching.